Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to see the origin of soil. Now, before seeing the origin of soil, the soil is the main source from rocks, right? So we'll see about something about rocks. Now, rocks is an aggregate of minerals. The rock may be made up of one mineral or different minerals. If rock is made up of one mineral, then we call it as a monomineralic rock. And if it is made up of different minerals, more than one minerals, then it is called as a polymineralic rocks. On the basis of origin, the rocks are mainly classified in three rocks. Then first one is your igneous rock, second one is your sedimentary rock, and third one is your metamorphic rock. Now in engineering geology, in your last year, you have already seen the types of rocks and minerals. So I will just brief about the rocks. What is meant by igneous rock, what is meant by sedimentary rock, and what is meant by metamorphic rock. Okay. Now what is meant by igneous rock? The rocks crystallized from hot magmatic material. The hot magmatic material means lava, hot magmatic lava. It's called as a igneous rock. It is also called as a primary rock. Okay. Now second one is your sedimentary rock. Now sedimentary rocks exposed to surface are attached by weathering agents. The rocks exposed to the surface attacking by weathering agents, the disintegration and decomposition material is transported into lakes, then ocean, by means of transporting agencies. Now, which are the transporting agencies? The transporting agencies like water, wind. Okay. The accumulated material, the transported and accumulated material on a compaction and cementation turns into sedimentary rock. Turns into sedimentary rock. And sedimentary rock is also called as a secondary rock. Okay. Now next one is your metamorphic rock. Now, rocks which are deeply buried may be subjected to high temperature and pressure. The buried rock subjected to the high temperature and pressure under influence of chemically active fluids. Under the influence of chemically active fluids, this brings out changes in mineralogical and structural characteristics of parent rock. And the new form of rock is developed. That rock is called as a metamorphic rock. Okay, so are you getting igneous rock means what, sedimentary rock means what, and metamorphic rock means what? Now the origin of soil. Now the soils are formed by weathering of rocks due to mechanical disintegration and chemical decomposition. Remember the two words, mechanical disintegration and chemical decomposition. Okay, when a rock surface get exposed to the atmosphere, when the rock surface get exposed to the atmosphere for a appreciable time, it disintegrate or decomposes into a small particles, thus the soil is formed. So how is the origin of soil? It is due to weathering of rocks and decomposition of organic matters, right? Now we'll see geological cycle. Now what is meant by geological cycle? See here the diagram of geological cycle. Now there are four stages. First one is your erosion, then transportation, then deposition and upheaval formation. Erosion, transportation, deposition and upheaval formation. Now the erosion means what? It is the weathering component. Erosion means it is weathering component. Right? We'll see soil is a material obtained from geological cycle which goes on continuously in nature. This process goes on continuously in nature. The geological cycle consists of erosion, that is weathering component, then transportation, then deposition, and last one is your upheaval of soils. Now see how is the geological cycle. The exposed rock, suppose this is your exposed rock, are eroded and degraded by various physical and chemical processes. The exposed rock is eroded and degraded by various physical and chemical processes, that is called as a erosion, means it is weathering component. The product of erosion are picked up by agencies of transportation. Now I already told that there are different transportation agencies like wind, water, right, such as water, wind, and the carried to a new location. This the eroded material is carried to the new location. See here. Okay. Now where they are depositions means they will settle down here. This shifting of material disturbs the equilibrium force of the earth. This the shifting of material disturbs the equilibrium force of earth and causes large scale earth movement, means there is tectonic movement, large scale earth movement, and formation of upheavals done. So the upheaval formations are done. Generally, after earthquakes, earth upheavals are formed, and there is one reason for earthquake, that is unbalanced forces in earth structure. Right? This process results in further exposure of rock. Again, this is your exposed surface. Again, the exposure of rock is get corroded, eroded, then erosion is started, and the geological cycle gets repeated. I hope the geological cycle you will get understand now which are the components of geological cycle, that is erosion, then transportation, then deposition and upheaval. Erosion means your weathering component. Correct? Now, which are the weathering components? There are three types of weathering components. First one is your physical weathering, second one is your chemical weathering, and third one is your biological weathering. Physical weathering is also called as a physical disintegration, and chemical weathering is called as a chemical decomposition. Correct? I have already told these two words, physical disintegration and chemical decomposition. Right? Now is in physical weathering, what happened? It is due to physical effects like temperature changes, then abrasion, impact, and spilling action due to water, then wind and animals, etc. Then penetration of plants and roots, okay, spreading of plants and roots, abrasion, wedging action of ice. These are some physical weathering effects. And it produce which type of soil? It produce gravels and sands. It produce gravels and sands. And in chemical, we'll see this each every component we'll see in detail. Just I will brief about physical, then chemical. In chemical decomposition, it is due to chemical reactions like oxidation, then carbonation, hydration, then solution, hydrolysis, etc. And due to chemical decomposition, which type of soil will produce? It produce the cohesive soil, that is the soil which has sticky nature, means clayey soil. Okay, and due to physical disintegration, which type of soil will produce? It produce the gravels and sand, which is cohesionless sand, means non-sticky soil in physical weathering. And in chemical weathering, it is cohesive soil, means sticky soil. And last one is your biological weathering. It is due to organic acids. Okay. Now we'll see physical disintegration and chemical decomposition in detail. Now in physical disintegration, it occurs due to following physical processes. First one is your temperature changes. Now different minerals of rocks have a different coefficient of thermal expansion. In already I have told you that the rocks are made up of minerals, that may be single mineral or multi minerals. Single minerals mean monomineralic, and multi minerals means polymineralic. Okay, so the minerals present in rock have different coefficient of thermal expansion and unequal expansion and contraction of these minerals occurs due to change in temperature. The uneven expansion and contraction of these minerals occurs due to temperature changes. When the stresses include due to such changes are repeated and many times, and particles get attached from the rocks and soils are formed. When the stresses induced due to such changes are repeated many times, so the cracks will develop in rock, and due to that cracks, particles get detached from the rock and soils are formed. Okay, this is about temperature changes. How the soil is formed due to temperature changes, we will see that. Okay, now we'll see next wedging action of soil. Now, what is wedging action of soil? Water in the pores and minute cracks get frozen. Water in the pores and minute cracks of rocks get frozen, and in a very cold climate, as the volume of ice formed is the more than that of water. The volume of water, and suppose you will take the 10 ml of water and froze it, then the volume of 10 ml of water and 10 ml of ice, the volume of ice is more than that water. So the what happened? Volume of ice formed is more than that of water. Expansion occurs in a rock, and the rock get broken into pieces when the large stresses develop in the cracks due to wedging action of the ice formation. Okay, and because of that cracking, the soil is formed. So this is about the wedging action of soil, how the soil is formation. Then third one is your spreading of roots of plants. Now, as a root of trees and shrubs grows in the cracks and fissures of the rocks, and forces act on the rocks. The roots of your trees or shrubs will introduce forces in rock, and it disintegrate the rocks, and because of that disintegration soil is formed. So this is the spreading of roots and of plants. And then the last one is your abrasion. As water, wind and glaciers means the mass of your ice, huge mass of your ice, the as the water, wind and glaciers moves over the surface of rock, the abrasion and scoring takes place, and that result in formation of soil. This is the abrasion. And in all the processes of physical disintegration, there is no change in chemical composition. The soil formed as a property of parent rock. Whatever the soil is formed in the physical disintegration, it has same properties as parent rock. There is no any change in its chemical composition. Now, second one is your chemical decomposition. We will see the chemical decomposition. Now, when the chemical decomposition takes place, the original soil, the original rock minerals are transported into new minerals by chemical reactions. The soil formed due the soil formed do not have properties of parent rocks. The following chemical processes generally occur in the nature. Now, which are the following processes? The first one is your hydration, then second carbonation, oxidation, then solution and hydrolysis. Now, first one is your hydration. Now, water combines with rock minerals and results in formation of new chemical compound. The chemical reaction causes change in volume and decomposition of rock into small particles, and hence the soil is formed, that is called as a hydration. Hydra means water. Water combines with rock minerals. Rock have different minerals, and that combines with the different minerals and form a new chemical compound within that rock. And because of that, there is a change in volume, and reactions will take place, and decomposition of rock will take place. So the soil is formed due to hydration. Okay. Now second one is your carbonation. Now it is type of chemical decomposition in which carbon dioxide in the atmosphere combines with water to form carbonic acid. When the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere comes in contact with water, and it will form the carbonic acids, which reacts chemically with rock and causes decomposition of rock. That because of that decomposition the soil is formed, that is called as a soil formed due to carbonation reaction. Okay. Now next one is your oxidation. It occurs when oxygen ions combines with minerals in rocks. Oxidation results in decomposition of rock. It is somewhat similar to the rusting of steel. How the steel will rust? When your steel is come in contact with oxygen or in atmosphere, because of the oxygen present in atmosphere the steel get corroded. Okay, the same reaction will take place in terms of rocks, and that reaction is called as a oxidation reaction. Okay. Now next one is your solution. Now some of the rock minerals form solutions when they get dissolved in water. There are different minerals in rocks. When they get dissolved in water, they form different types of solutions, and within that different types of solutions chemical reactions will take place, and takes place and the soil is formed. So that is the solution reaction. And last one is your hydrolysis. Now in this water get dissolved into H plus and OH minus ion. Water get dissolved in H plus and OH minus ions, and hydrogen cations replace the metallic ions such as calcium, sodium and potassium in the rock minerals, and soils are formed with a new decomposition that is called as a hydrolysis. Now due to chemical decomposition of rocks results in formation of clay minerals. It forms generally clay minerals. Okay, and the we already see the biological weathering means it is due to the organic waste or organic acids present in a rocks or soils or in a nature. So this is the formation of soil. Now we will see transportation of soil is due to. Now we already see there are different agencies of transportation. The first one is your wind, then second one is your water, and third one is your glacier, and last one is your due to gravity, due to self weight. Now we'll see the when your soil is transported and deposited by wind. When your soil is transported and deposited by wind, that soil is called as a aeolian soil. See, this is very important from gate point of view. Take a note of that. The soil transported and deposited by wind, that soil is called as a aeolian soil. Okay. Then if your soil is transported and deposited by water, if your soil is transported and deposited by water in a river bed, that soil is called as a alluvial soil. Okay. And similarly, when your soil is transported and deposited by water, and it is deposited where on a lake bed, then that soil is called as a lacustrine soil. And when your soil is transported and deposited on a seabed, that soil is called as a marine soil. There are three types of soil transported and deposited by water, that is alluvial, then lacustrine, and last one is your marine soil. Okay. Then the soil is transported and deposited by glaciers, that soil is called as a glacier soil. This is simple. And last one, the soil is transported and deposited by gravity. Due to self weight of soil get transported and somewhere it will get deposited. That soil is called as a colluvial soil. Which are soils? The soil due to wind is aeolian, soil due to water is alluvial, lacustrine, marine, and soil due to glacier is glacier soil, and soil due to gravity is colluvial soil. Okay. Now classification, forces acting on soil particles. Now there are two types of forces acting on a soil particle. First force is your gravitational force, that is we called as a body force due to mass of soil, and second one is your surface force. Okay. Now gravitational force or body force, it is proportional to the mass, that is self weight. When you see the force equation, force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, that is F is equal to m into g. G means acceleration due to gravity, right? F is equal to m. F force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, right? Here is equal to sign means force acceleration due to gravity is your constant 9.81. Okay, means force is directly proportional to the mass, right? So the it is proportional to the mass. Clear? Now in surface force depends on specific surface area, that we call as a SSA, depends on specific surface area, nature of surface and ambience. Nature of surface and ambience. Now, due to gravitational force, generally gravels and sands are formed, and due to surface forces, clays are formed. It is formed in terms of clays. For example, we'll take that is electrochemical forces and cohesion. It will come under surface forces, electrochemical forces and cohesion. Cohesion means the friction between two particles. Means there is the friction between surface area, right? And in case of silty soils, both the body force and surface force are equally predominant. Okay, it is predominant in gravel and sand. Gravitational force is predominant in gravel and sand. Predominant means most likely or uh, firstly happen in gravel and sand, and surface it is most likely in case of clays. And while in case of silty soil means there is a portion of gravel also and there is a portion of clay also. In case of that silty soil, both the body force and surface force are equally predominant. Okay. Now next, some important field names. We'll see. This is also very important from gate point of view. This is also very important from gate point of view. First one is your black cotton soil. Black cotton soil is also very important. You should know the mineral present in black cotton soil. Many times in a gate, they will ask which mineral is mostly present in a black cotton soil. Then you have to give answer, right? Just we will see one by one the important field names of soils. First soil is your black cotton soil. It is the high plastic clay. Black cotton soil is a high plastic clay. Then it is residual soil formed by chemical weathering. Black cotton soil is generally formed due to chemical weathering. The parent rock of the soil is basalt or trap. Black cotton soil is generally formed due to the parent rock, that is basalt, and trap, that is igneous rock. Okay. Then it exhibits large swelling and shrinkage due to presence of Montmorillonite clay mineral, due to Montmorillonite clay mineral. Keep a name in your mind, Montmorillonite, which is the mineral present in a black cotton soil. Because of that, it has the large swelling and shrinkage properties, right? So that the black cotton soil is always kept moisture in itself. Okay, this is about the black cotton soil. Then second one is your bentonite clay. Now, bentonite clay is obtained by volcanic ash. Bentonite slurry or clay is also called as a drilling mud. It is also called as a drilling mud. Whenever you see, whenever there is a boring is going on, while doing the boring, in a diameter of boring, there is a chances of soil sliding inside that boring. Means that soil gets slips and dig into that bore, and to avoid that, while doing the boring, we are using the drilling mud as a bentonite clay. We are using the bentonite clay while drilling the bore to avoid the sliding of the side soil. Okay, so this is about the bentonite clay. Then third one is your vervid clay. It consists of alternate thin layer of silt and clay. Okay, it consists of alternate thin layers of silt and clay like a sandwich structure, and it is lacustrine deposit. This is the deposit of lacustrine. Then next one is your marl. It is a steep marine clay. Marl is a steep marine clay. It is found in marine. Then loam, a mixture of sand, silt, and clay, is called as a loam. A mixture of sand, silt, and clay. Then next one is your murum. You know the murum. It is gravel mixed with a red clay. Murum is a gravel mixed with a red clay. Then loess, a wind deposit or aeolian deposit. Loess means wind deposit or aeolian deposit. It has soil particles similar to that of silt particles. It has soil particles similar to that of silt particles. Then next one is your humus, partly decomposed organic soil. Humus is partly decomposed organic soil. Then next one is your peat. It is fully decomposed organic soil, dark in color, odor, its odor is smelly and fibrous type, that is peat. Then next one is your muck. It consists of fine inorganic particles and fully composed organic soil. It consists of fine inorganic particles. There is a portion of some fine inorganic particles and fully decomposed organic soil. That is called as a muck. Then talus. In talus, it is a colluvial deposit. It has large size of particle and found at a foot of hills. It is generally found at a foot of hills. And last one, your glacier deposit. Glacier deposit means the soil due to the glacier, and example for that is drift, till, outwash. These are the example for glacier deposit. Okay, these are some important field names. Then we will see uh, soil mechanics means what, rock mechanics means what, and from next lecture we'll go to the technical terms. Now we'll see what is meant by soil mechanics. According to the Dr. Terzaghi, means Carl Terzaghi, Dr. Carl Terzaghi, to whom we will call as a father of geotechnical engineering, in 1948 he stated that the soil mechanics or geotechnique is the application of laws of mechanics and hydraulics to the engineering problem dealing with sediments and other unconsolidated accomplishments of solid particles produced by mechanical and chemical disintegration. The study of the science of the soil mechanics equips a civil engineer with a basic scientific tools needed to understand the soil behaviors. This is the soil mechanics. And what is meant by rock mechanics? The rock mechanics is defined as a science dealing with the application of the principles of mechanics to understand the behavior of rock masses. That is called as rock mechanics. And the soil engineering and geotechnical engineering. Soil engineering is a broader term which encompasses not only the soil mechanics or geotechnique but also soil dynamics, part of structural engineering, and many other disciplines which are frequently essential to obtain practical solution to problems of a soil. This is about the soil engineering, and geotechnical engineering is a new term that includes soil mechanics also, rock mechanics also, and soil engineering also. Okay. Geotechnical engineering is a new term that includes soil mechanics, soil engineering, rock mechanics, and rock engineering. Okay, so this is about the soil engineering and geotechnical engineering. With this, I will stop here. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me on WhatsApp or you can directly call me. Thank you.